Okay, so you wanted a deep dive. Well, get ready, because this isn't some dusty old file or a weird internet theory. This is happening right now, everywhere. We're talking global weirdness that has everyone from, like, scientists to, everyone on social media freaking out.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that honestly, even when you study the universe for a living, still makes you go, wait, what?
So picture this. You're walking down the street, right? And you see your shadow,
Uh.
but it's not doing what you're doing. It's like it's got a mind of its own.
And these aren't just, blurry photos or anything. This is worldwide. People are describing the same thing. Shadows acting up, doing their own thing, even moving like they're alive or something.
Yeah, like that video from Tokyo with those shadows just climbing that skyscraper.
Like
It was
what?
insane. Or that whole thing in Times Square.
Hundreds of shadows merging together into this massive, like, pulsating blob of darkness. Totally bizarre.
And get this, it's not just happening out there. It's happened to us, too, the people behind this podcast right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I woke up this morning, and for a second, I swear there was this thing, this shadow, right by my bed. It felt like it was trying to touch me. And then, PFT, gone.
And our other hosts, they told me their shadow wrote on the wall, just like, hello. How creepy is that?
And it gets weirder because people are seeing shadows where there aren't any people, like just these dark figures moving around on their own.
Empty rooms, hospitals. There was even that news report from London where one just appeared behind the anchor live on air.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like a horror movie, but this is real life, and it's happening everywhere right now. The UN is calling it a global crisis event. NASA's stumped.
This changes everything. I mean, shadows are just like the absence of light, right? They're not supposed to have a mind of their own. It's like the laws of physics are taking a vacation.
So what do we know?
Mm-hmm.
Not a whole lot, but we do know this is serious, and it's freaking everyone out. So to figure this out, we've got to go deeper, look at the theories, even the ones that sound like they're straight out of, some sci-fi movie.
Hmm.
So we know something weird is going on with shadows, but why? What could possibly explain this? We've been digging into the science, talking to the experts, and,
Let's just say the world's smartest people are scratching their heads right along with us.
right, it's not like they've got it all figured out either. But that doesn't mean there are some pretty wild theories floating around. I got a hold of Dr. Samuel Hinton. He's like this big deal theoretical physicist, and he's been looking into all this shadow stuff.
And what's the verdict? Spill the theoretical tea.
Well, get this, he thinks it might be connected to, wait for it, dark matter.
Dark matter, like the invisible stuff that makes up, like, most of the universe.
Exactly. And here's where it gets kind of complicated. You know how dark matter is? Like this huge mystery. We can't see it. We don't really know what it is, but we know it's there because of its gravity, right?
Yeah, like the cosmic scaffolding holding everything together. But what does that have to do with, shadows going rogue?
Well, Dr. Hinton thinks these weird shadows might be like a side effect of dark matter bumping into our dimension in a totally new way. Imagine like an ocean, right? We're on a little boat, we see the waves, but there's this whole other world happening underneath that we can't even see.
Okay, so these shadows are like ripples from a dark matter ocean. I kind of get it. But then there's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh, yeah. We reached out to him, too. We always have some mind-blowing take on things.
What does the cosmic guru have to say about all this?
Brace yourself. He actually said, and I quote, "If we're seeing shadows acting independently, we're not just dealing with unknown physics, we're dealing with unknown dimensions."
Dimensions? Hold on. He's talking about, like, parallel universes? Is that what's happening here?
Maybe. It sounds crazy, but that's what's so fascinating about all this. What if our shadows aren't just shadows, but like glimpses into other realities?
Whoa. Okay, I need a minute to process that one. So we've got dark matter messing with our perceptions, or we've got interdimensional beings using our shadows as puppets.
Pretty much. But here's the thing. Even if we figure out the what, there's still the question of what it all means and what it might be doing to us.
You mean besides freaking everyone out?
Yeah, the World Health Organization is actually really worried about something they're calling shadow dissociation syndrome.
Shadow dissociation syndrome. That sounds like something straight out of a medical thriller. What is it?
Basically, it's all these weird psychological effects people are reporting: anxiety, insomnia, hallucinations, even personality changes, all linked to seeing these freaky shadows.
So it's not just our eyes that are being messed with, it's our minds. That's terrifying. But wait, that almost makes this even more interesting, right? Like, what if these shadows aren't just external, but they're connected to, like, us?
Right, what are you saying?
Well, some researchers are saying these shadows might be linked to our subconscious minds. Like they're external versions of our hidden thoughts and fears.
Okay, so it's like our shadows are acting out all the stuff we keep bottled up inside. That's both fascinating and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Right, and it could explain why these second shadows seem to be more active in places where emotions run high: hospitals, schools, even battlefields.
Places where people are feeling really intense things, good or bad. Which actually brings us to you, dear listeners. Have you noticed any patterns in when or where your second shadow acts up? You feel any kind of connection to it? This isn't just some abstract mystery. This is about understanding ourselves.
This is what makes this deep dive so mind-blowing. We're not just talking about shadows, but about consciousness, reality, the whole shebang.
So, we've thrown a lot of weirdness your way. Dark matter, parallel universes, our shadows being like, therapy sessions gone rogue. It's a lot.
You think? I mean, it really makes you wonder what's really out there, you know?
No kidding. But here's the big question. What do we do about it?
Honestly, if I had a simple answer to that, I'd probably be, like, president of the world by now.
Right. But seriously, any advice? Should we be stocking up on flashlights? Are we talking, like, full-on shadow hunting gear here?
Well, a little extra light never hurts, but remember how we talked about those shadows being tied to our minds? Some folks are saying, like, the stronger we are mentally, the less power those shadows have over us.
So it's a mental game, like
Yeah.
meditation, therapy maybe.
Exactly. If those shadows feed off our hidden anxieties and all that, maybe the best defense is a strong offense, right? Face your fears, know yourself, that sort of thing.
So basically, instead of running from the shadows, we gotta befriend them.
Not exactly befriend, more like show them who's boss.
Right on. So mentally prepare for battle.
Got it. But what about, like, practical stuff? If my shadow starts acting up, what do I do?
Pay attention. Seriously, the more we observe, the more we might figure out. For instance, there's been some talk that sunlight messes with these shadow things.
Wait, really? So more sunshine, fewer shadow problems?
Maybe. It's too early to say for sure, but it's worth noting. And hey, on that note, take care of yourselves out there, folks. This whole thing's got to be stressful. Don't be afraid to reach out if you need to talk to someone.
This isn't just happening to one person, it's happening to all of us.
Right.
And that kind of makes you wonder, like, what does this mean for humanity? What if we never really figure out why this is happening? Now there's the million-dollar question. Some people think this is it, you know, the end of the world as we know it. Others, they're saying this could be a good thing.
A good thing. How's that? You mean like our shadows will finally teach us how to do the robot or something?
Well, maybe not that, but think about it. We humans, we like to think we've got it all figured out. What if this is the universe reminding us that we don't know everything?
Oh, no.
That there's still so much out there we don't understand?
So instead of being scared, we should be curious.
Exactly. This whole shadow thing, yeah, it's creepy, no doubt. But maybe it's also a chance to look at the world, at ourselves, in a whole new light.
Oh, okay. I like the way you think. So we're not panicking. We're exploring. We're facing our fears and maybe learning a little something along the way.
And who knows, maybe those shadows have something to teach us after all.
That's a wrap for today's deep dive. To everyone listening, we want to hear from you. What have you experienced? What do you think is going on? Hit us up on our socials. Let's figure this out together.
Stay curious out there. And remember, sometimes the best answers are found in the shadows.
Until next time, keep exploring the shadows carefully, of course.